Mark Gilead here for AIM Country Music Television, and I want to welcome you to your new favorite song. Today we're headed to Texas with singer-songwriter Garrett Bradford. Garrett grew up in the ranching and rodeo world of Weatherford, Texas. That lifestyle has shaped both his music and his songwriting. He first gained national attention when his song This Way of Life was featured on season 3 of television series Yellowstone, introducing his music to a much larger audience. Since then, he's continued building a loyal following with songs rooted in traditional country, working man stories, and the people and places he knows best. We're going to talk with Garrett about his latest release, Blacktop Bender. So let's bring him in here right now to talk about what might just be your new favorite song. Welcome to the show, Garrett.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
You're welcome. So nice to meet you. We were supposed to get together earlier this year, just could not get our schedules to match. You've been just covered up with stuff to go on. At the time, I think you were releasing the Honkiest of Tonkers, probably the second part. I'm not sure, but that's one of my favorite titles ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was thinking about what to name that album, and I love the idea of using a song title. I mean, that's pretty conventional, of course, but and that song was on there, and I thought, the hardest thing to do nowadays is stand out. Like, there's so much music being made. I gotta make that the title track, and I've gotten a lot of comments about it, which makes me happy. I'm glad it actually stood out.
It's one that sticks in your head for sure.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're new around here, so I would just love to dedicate the first few minutes to an intro. Just take the floor and give us a proper intro. How did you get started? What are you up to now? And what do you got in your sights for 2026?
Absolutely. Well, I'm from Weatherford, Texas, which is about 30 miles west of Fort Worth. I grew up on a ranch there. My dad and mom are both involved in horses and cattle and ranching. My dad had a horse auction company, which was really awesome. And he also raised bucking bulls and bucking broncs. We did as a family. So getting to grow up around that lifestyle was awesome. Didn't have a lot of musicians though. I had an uncle and still do who plays guitar, and his daughter is a great singer. She sings in church, but my first exposure to music was in church and children's choir. And I kind of it slowly grew on me. At first, I thought it was, boring and I didn't want to go, but my mom kept making me go. And eventually I started enjoying it. And then I was fortunate enough to meet a guy named Dan Roberts, who's a great singer and songwriter. And he had just moved to Texas from Tennessee, and his son, JD, is one of my best friends. And he was in my grade at school. And the rest is kind of history. I met Dan and he taught me about songwriting, and I thought that was just incredible. At the time, I was playing ukulele, and he said, "Well, if you want to be a real singer songwriter, you might want to think about learning how to play guitar. Like the ukulele is great, but you might consider guitar." So I said, "All right." And it was just a slow progression, or I don't know about slow. I mean, I was fired up and passionate about it from the time I first got a guitar, and loved to write songs, and continued to do that after I got out of high school and was started playing. We have so many great live venues to play at in Texas, and um, it slowly became a thing that I was able. And really, what pushed it over the edge was I had a song on the TV show Yellowstone season 3, and that was a huge opportunity that kind of came from me being around Weatherford, where I'm from, and getting to meet Taylor Sheridan. And that's what's allowed me to just get out here and do it basically for a living, and if nothing else, gave me the permission to view myself as as an artist, and to put my music out there and really pursue it, because it just gave me a little bit more confidence, which is what I needed.
That's a real confidence builder. The song you're talking about is This Way of Life, I think.
Yes, sir.
It entered the iTunes country charts at like I don't know, right off the bat. Spotify shows it's like 2.5 million streams. How did the connection come about? Was it because you were close to where they were at?
Pretty much. I mean, so when they moved to Texas, Taylor and his wife, he brought his family. They bought a really nice property, and it was about 5 miles down the road from the ranch where I grew up on. But at the time, I was doing tree work. I did a lot of tree work and smaller land clearing jobs. That's what I did during the weeks. And he got somehow or another he got my card from somebody. I mean, it's rural out where I live, but it's not the middle of nowhere, so to speak. So there's plenty of other tree guys, plenty of other, people to clear land. So I'm thankful that he got my card, and then he found out I played music, and he'd have me bring my guitar up and play for him and for his friends, and it kind of took off after that. And a couple years later, he asked me to write a song, kind of gave me a general topic, and I wrote it and sent it to him, and he said we're going to use it on the show, which I had never even thought that I was going to, because the show was so huge. And I didn't even, I just viewed myself as like a local guy who was good at entertainment. I didn't think he viewed me that way. So that's what really gave me the confidence.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty lucky you were down the road from him, but it is not lucky that you wrote a song and he immediately wanted to use it. I mean, that's a real nice connection right there.
Well, it's like there's so many sayings and stuff about luck, but I think you get opportunities, and some people get better opportunities or more opportunities than other people, and that's fine. But all you can control is if you can capitalize on it. If you can make something out of your opportunity. And I've had other opportunities, probably none as good as that. But I had other opportunities before I met Taylor, but I wasn't ready for them. Maybe my skills weren't where they needed to be, or for whatever reason, it didn't happen. So that was when I was actually able to. I took it seriously. I was like, "This is a great opportunity. I need to at least write this song for him."
Yeah, a lot of times luck doesn't do anything for you unless you jump on it and do something with it.
That's for sure. Yes, sir.
I've listened to a lot of your music over the last week or so, and I think my description would be like real country. It's not overproduced. It sounds like the core is pretty much, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, a bass, and drums, and then you might embellish from there. But it seems like that's kind of your core. How would you describe your sound to someone who's just tuned in, just now discovering you?
Yes, sir. I would definitely say real country. I don't go out of my way to do a retro thing necessarily, if that makes sense. Like, definitely have some songs that probably sound like that, but that's just because that's what I love listening to and what I love writing. But I'm not afraid to throw something that's a little more modern sounding. But I think it definitely everybody describes it just kind of like you did, as being real country. And then another thing too is I love steel guitar and fiddle. I genuinely do, but I am not of the mindset that every single song has to have it to be country. And some people disagree, and that's fine. But I think it's all about if you write a song well, hopefully the song can carry. And I love being able to record songs in a way that can be reproduced live relatively easy. And I'm not at the stage where I can bring an 8 or 9 piece band with me everywhere I go.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that. If I can make it work with a lead guitar, acoustic guitar, and bass and drums, that's my favorite thing to do because I know I can recreate that sound.
Yeah, you got good players. You can do it every time too.
Yes, sir. That's for sure.
Well,
I'm very blessed in that regard.
yeah, exactly. And going through these songs, I found you got quite a few driving songs. There's Peterbilt Pipe Dream, Keep on Driving, 50 in the Fast Lane. We're here to talk about Blacktop Bender. What music do you favor during those hours you're on the road between gigs? What do you put on when you're just driving around?
I listen to a lot of like Waylon Jennings esque type things, stuff from that era. If you were to put it on like a Waylon Jennings shuffle station or something, that's what I would. And listen to XM radio quite a bit too when I'm going down the road. I love that they have some classic country stations because I still get a lot of inspiration from that, and I think melodically I don't know. I'm really fearful of, becoming like everybody else. And yeah, I suppose everybody probably is. But for me, I get real nervous if I'm always listening to like new music because I get inundated with enough of that as a songwriter, spending half my time in Nashville. So I don't need any more of that because it starts making me question myself just because of the way my personality is. I start questioning myself and thinking, well, maybe I should do this or that. And that's a bad place to be, I've learned.
Oh, it is, and I think that's where that whole outlaw thing started originally, was people getting tired of getting pushed into that production, and where it was, so much pop country instead of being something that's, well, guitar, bass, and drums.
Absolutely, it is. And they were coming out of the country politan era, which I actually love, which it's funny because I love that era and that sound of country music with the orchestras and the big band stuff. But to them, I'm sure it felt stifling at the time, and to us, or to me, it sounds so cool because it's old and retro in my mind. But I'm sure to them, that probably felt like pop, pop country or
Exactly.
something. So it is interesting, and nowadays we have so many more opportunities to. I mean, there's so many great things going on in Nashville, and there's so many reasons to still have a record deal or something like that. But a guy can get out there so much easier nowadays than he could in the 70s or 80s, that's for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, in my line of work, I see a lot of cowboy hats. I don't see too many cowboys. In your case,
I bet.
it's really part of who you are, though. I mean, when you got the rodeo background, working on ranches, uh, does that wind up being a rich vein of inspiration for songwriting, as well as the sound, or is that just more like what you listen to? I mean, it seems like a lot of your songs kind of go about something that happened to somebody.
Yeah, I think I definitely write that way, and those are my favorite songs. I definitely there's some songs I write. I guess my songs are kind of literal, and I don't know. I've actually been thinking about this a lot recently because I do love poetry, and it's neat when songs are up for interpretation. Mine are rarely like that. Very, very rarely like that, and I'm not sure why I write like that, but I know that it feels great when you write something that's like true, that really happened about you. Like I've written songs about my dad, and when somebody else comes up to you and says, "I feel like he wrote that song about me," it's just such a great feeling. And I've also, I would think it's also great to have songs that are completely metaphorical, but it's really cool to have one where you're putting across exactly what you mean, especially if people resonate with it.
Yeah, yeah, I like a metaphor too, but yeah, I'm not a deep guy, so to me,
That's right, me neither.
I'm more likely to sing along with a song that has some relevance to what I've lived personally. That if you've had a hard time and are singing about a hard time, that's the one you like to do. And if you're on top of the mountain, you want to sing along with that one. It's I think
Yeah,
that's that's
100%. I know exactly what you mean.
well. We're here today to talk about your song "Blacktop Bender." Could I get you to tell us a little bit about the song and its inspiration and things before we watch the video?
Absolutely. So this song is one I wrote kind of about, not kind of, absolutely. It's about chasing your dreams, and this dream of music, especially in the last 5 6 years, has really led me to travel a lot and get to see a lot of things I probably never would have. But there's things that you sacrifice when you do that, and for me, I'm a person who I love where I'm from, Weatherford, Texas. I love my family. I love my friends, and I miss them a lot. Like if I talked about it too much longer, it's about the only thing that could get me to shed a tear on camera here, because I do, and I'm the kind of guy that like I want to be there all the time. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a homebody, but I do have a little bit of that in me. And if I didn't love this music so much and feel so strongly about getting my music out there, I would not leave my hometown very often. I promise you.
Well, Blacktop Bender having the whole chasing your dreams as the background, to me that does make that point better, where you say a song you can sing along with. This is one of those songs where
Yes, sir.
you can kind of join in and sing. I'd love to play it now. How about you?
Oh man, play it for him. That'd be awesome.
Great. You're watching Garrett Bradford's video for Blacktop Bender here on AIM Country Music Television.
If my liver hangs on and my lungs don't buzz, bet I'm gonna make me $1,000,000 singing these songs I bled on the page. I might die trying, but I'll get paid, boys. Am I chasing my dreams? Am I running away from a ghost that haunts me in my darkest days? Cigarette burn in the passenger seat. He's gone too soon. Life ain't so sweet. On the blacktop bender, you're gonna remember every word I ever wrote. And you'll be crying big tears while I'm singing in your ears, and the speakers down deep in your soul. So when my time comes up and you drop me in the dirt, just say I would've quit if it hadn't killed me first. Sing a highway song when you dig my grave. Mama, don't worry, it'll be okay. Don't blame the whiskey, don't blame the women. A heart like mine is made for fast living on the blacktop bender. Make her remember every word I ever wrote. And they'll be crying big tears while I'm singing through their ears, and the speakers down deep in their soul. So when my time comes up and they drop me in the dirt, just say I would've quit if it hadn't killed me first. Tell the barroom beauties and the dark-haired cuties I loved them, every single one. I meant every word of every song they heard, and I hope they had a little fun.
What a great song and a great sound.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome. Is this a song you do in your live shows now?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm rolling it out this summer, and it's going to be a staple because it's a fun one to do live. It's I don't know. It's got a good feel to it, and I didn't even really think about it being kind of a driving song as well. I guess that just naturally comes out of me. That's so true. 50 in the fast lane. My two truck driving songs. Now this one. I think there's a theme there that I didn't even realize.
Yeah, and it is one of those songs that you can put onto a traveling playlist, and it's just fun to just kind of bop along with as you're traveling.
Yes, sir. I do a lot of driving, so I think that probably has something to do with it while I'm thinking about it all the time.
Well, like, good songs almost always evoke some kind of emotion, some kind of a feeling. So, like, personally, what do you feel when you're playing this song in a live setting?
I think wide open. I just feel like this song, to me, that's the first thing I think of. That's the way I feel when I hear this song. When I wrote it, it's kind of just wide open, like like the desert.
Yes, that would be what was going through my mind when I was thinking kind of reckless abandon. It's just like kind of
That's
just kind of
great.
free and easy and tearing into it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's time that we rev it up, drop it in gear, and just peel out of here. So before I let you go, tell us where to find you online, on stage, and where we can buy or listen to all your music.
Absolutely. So you can go to garrettbradford.com. There should be links to my social medias and things there. I use Instagram and TikTok. So if you search Garrett Bradford there, you'll probably be able to find me. I'll pop up. I'm a guy in a cowboy hat almost always, and I put my shows up there too, particularly on Facebook and Instagram, so folks can get on there and see what the tour dates are. And I hope to see people out and about and go check out my music wherever you listen to music. I appreciate y'all.
Fantastic. Well, I really enjoyed the visit. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you for having me.
Now, you're very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Garrett Bradford. So, what do you think? Is Blacktop Bender going to be your new favorite song? This has been Mark Gilliam for AIM Country Music Television. Thanks for watching.
Dreams am I running away from a ghost that haunts me in my darkest days. Cigarette burn in the passenger seat. He's gone too soon. Life ain't so sweet.